You just bought a hybrid to save on gas, but one wrong maintenance habit could cost you $4,500 for a battery replacement before 150,000 miles. Most hybrids can actually reach 300,000 to 500,000 miles, but only if owners treat the hybrid-specific systems differently from a normal car. Today, we are counting down 8 maintenance secrets that separate a hybrid that dies at 120,000 miles from one that passes 500,000, starting with number 8. 8th place goes to oil changes, done the hybrid way. The biggest mistake hybrid owners make is treating oil changes like any ordinary gas car. Hybrids start and stop their engines far more often, which means more cold starts and faster oil breakdown. That is why Toyota, Honda, and Hyundai recommend sticking with 5,000 to 10,000 mile intervals, and Ford plug-in hybrids push for just 3,000 miles between changes. Ignore that advice, and you risk sludge buildup, worn piston rings, and cold start damage. Those issues can turn an $80 oil service into a $3,000 engine repair. Full synthetic oil in the right viscosity is non-negotiable. Most shops charge $80 to $125 for a proper synthetic oil change, a small price compared to engine failure. This basic routine keeps the gas side of your hybrid healthy, setting the stage for everything else that keeps these cars running past 500,000 miles. Number 7. Battery cooling fan and filter service is where many hybrid owners quietly set themselves up for a massive bill down the road. The high-voltage battery pack relies on a dedicated fan and a small filter, usually tucked behind the rear seat or under a trim panel to keep cool air flowing over the battery cells. When that filter gets clogged with dust, pet hair, or debris, airflow drops, battery temperatures spike, and the battery's state of health can plummet from 95% to 80% in just a few years. Ignore this $30 to $55 filter, and you are gambling with a $4,500 to $6,500 battery replacement. Toyota and Kia both call for an inspection every 5,000 miles or 12 months, more often if you drive in dusty or pet-friendly environments. Warning signs include a noisy or strained fan, reduced electric range, and diagnostic codes like P0A80. Dealer service for cleaning or replacing the filter typically runs $100 to $130, and if you let it go long enough to burn out the fan itself, that is another $250 to $350. High-mileage Prius owners who skip this step are the ones posting about sudden battery failures. For the price of a tank of gas, you can keep your hybrid's most expensive part running cool, efficient, and well beyond the warranty window. Number 6 is inverter coolant loop maintenance. It is a detail too many hybrid owners skip until it is too late. Every hybrid has 2 separate coolant systems, one for the engine and a dedicated loop just for the inverter and power control unit. That inverter coolant is not just any antifreeze. It is a specialized glycol mix, and Toyota insists on their Type 2 formula. Ignore the 30,000-mile or 24-month flush interval, and the coolant turns acidic, quietly eating away at the power control unit's aluminum channels and seals. Once the damage is done, you are looking at a $2,300 to $2,800 replacement for the inverter or power control unit, plus labor, an expense that can wipe out years of fuel savings. A proper flush runs about $180 to $260, including a careful bleed to purge air pockets. Even seasoned mechanics sometimes miss the distinction between the 2 coolant loops, but skipping this step is a gamble with the most expensive electronics in your car. Following the factory schedule here keeps the electric side of your hybrid running cool and reliable for the long haul. Number 5. Rotor rust prevention is where hybrid owners can quietly lose hundreds on an otherwise bulletproof car. Regenerative braking is great for pad life. Many hybrids go well past 100,000 miles on their original pads, but it is a double-edged sword for the rotors themselves. With regenerative braking handling most stops, the steel rotors barely get warm, and that means moisture from rain, humidity, or road salt can cling to the surface. Give it 4 to 6 weeks of city driving with gentle braking, and you will start to see orange speckles of rust, especially in humid or coastal climates. Ignore it, and the rust can pit deep enough to cause pedal pulsation or even force a full rotor replacement, $120 to $250 per axle, and that is if you catch it before the pads start grinding. Toyota's own service bulletins and dealer training videos call for a simple fix. Once a week, perform a few strong, deliberate stops from moderate speed to burnish the rotors and wipe away surface corrosion. This routine, sometimes called a pad drag, is the only way to keep the rotors clean when the car is doing most of the braking with its electric motors. It takes just a minute, costs nothing, and can double or triple rotor life. Owners who make this a habit routinely avoid the expensive surprise of rusty rotors, keeping their hybrids on the road and out of the brake shop. Number 4. ECVT and transaxle fluid changes are where hybrid owners get tripped up by marketing language. The manual might call it a lifetime fluid, but the fine print in Toyota's own service guide says to drain and fill every 60,000 miles, especially if you want to avoid a transaxle rebuild that costs $2,100 to $2,500. Hybrid transmissions are not like old-school automatics. They are sealed, run hotter, and generate metallic fines as the gears wear. Skip that fluid change and those tiny metal particles circulate for tens of thousands of miles, slowly grinding away at the gear set and clutch packs. A proper service runs $250 to $380 at most shops, using the exact HVCVT fluid the factory calls for. Ignore the good-for-life pitch and treat the ECVT like a wear item, not a forever fluid. Owners who follow the real schedule rarely see transaxle failures before 300,000 miles. Those who trust the marketing end up facing a repair bill that could buy a decent used car. This is the last big fluid to tackle before shifting focus to ignition reliability. Number 3 is proactive spark plug replacement, a step that keeps your hybrid running smoothly and saves you from a cascade of headaches down the line. Most hybrids, including the Prius and Civic Hybrid, call for new spark plugs at 100,000 miles. The job isn't just about keeping the engine happy. Worn plugs can cause misfires, and in a hybrid, that is not just a rough idle. A misfire dumps raw fuel into the catalytic converter, overheating it and putting extra load on the hybrid battery and inverter. That is a triple threat. You risk a $1,400 converter, a stressed battery, and a confused power control unit. The fix is simple and cheap. Expect to pay $70 to $120 for a set of iridium plugs and about 0.7 hours of labor. The total runs $140 to $210 in most shops. Spend a little now, and you avoid weeks of diagnostic bills and the frustration of chasing down intermittent trouble codes. This small investment in ignition health keeps both the gas and electric systems out of trouble, and it sets up stable power delivery as the car ages. Number 2, the scheduled 12-volt auxiliary battery swap is the silent insurance policy that keeps a hybrid from turning into a driveway ornament. Every hybrid depends on a small 12-volt battery, not to crank the engine, but to power up the computers and to trigger the high-voltage contactors that wake the main hybrid system. When this battery drops below 12.2 volts, the car will not even attempt to start, leaving you stuck in limp mode, or worse, unable to shift out of park. It is a problem that hits without warning. One day the car starts fine, the next it is totally dead, and a jump start is only a temporary fix. Most hybrids use an absorbent glass mat battery that lasts about 4 to 6 years, but real-world data and owner surveys show that pushing it past 5 years is a gamble. The cost for a proper replacement runs $120 to $200 for the battery itself, with about 0.4 hours of labor, less than the price of a tow truck or a last-minute dealership rescue. Waiting for symptoms is not worth the risk. A dead 12-volt battery disables the entire hybrid system, and you will be paying for a tow, a rushed battery swap, and possibly a reprogramming fee. Proactive replacement every 5 years is the move that separates the folks who drive 300,000 miles trouble-free from those who get stranded at the worst possible moment. This is the last single component fix before the full dual system calendar comes into play. Treating a hybrid as 2 vehicles, gas and electric, under one hood is what sets the longest-lasting cars apart. Owners logging 546,896 or even 621,000 miles didn't rely on luck. They followed a written dual-system maintenance calendar and never trusted memory or warning lights. Every 5,000 miles, oil changes and battery fan checks keep both engines breathing. At 30,000 miles, inverter coolant gets flushed to prevent acid buildup that can destroy the power control unit. Every 60,000 miles, ECVT fluid is swapped, ignoring the so-called lifetime fill. At 100,000 miles, spark plugs are replaced before misfires can trigger costly battery and converter failures. Every 5 years, a new 12-volt auxiliary battery goes in, avoiding sudden breakdowns. Dealer plans like Toyota Care skip most of these electric side jobs, covering only oil, filters, and tire rotations. The warranty fine print is clear. Miss these steps and failures are on you. High-mileage owners log every service, set reminders, and treat maintenance as a habit, not an afterthought. This disciplined calendar is the real secret behind hybrids that reach 300,000, 400,000, or even 500,000 miles, ensuring both the gas and electric systems get the attention each needs for the long haul. Across every proven step, one pattern stands out. Treating your hybrid as two cars, gas and electric, is what unlocks real longevity. The difference is not luck or brand hype. It is focused, hybrid-specific care. The mile markers reached by high-mileage owners show this. Maintenance mindset beats any dealership package. Drive smart.